Hey everybody, give me a second. Posting this in Linda, I see you, but I don't see your camera. Share in group. Post this. 1 second. This is the support group as well. I don't see your camera, Linda. Discussions. Or send me a request if you can. Okay, I see one camera, but I don't see your camera, Linda. Can you send me a request? Okay, we're going to give it a second to see if I can get Linda on here. I see everybody else's camera but Linda's. I don't know what's wrong there. But while I'm waiting, welcome to tonight's Sunday Live Let's Talk Autism session. As you know, this is open discussion where anything autism goes. To those of you who are new to it, you just throw some questions out there or some suggestions. If you see a question in the chat room and you're able to help, that's what it's all about. Parents helping parents, so you can answer the question and help Linda and I. Linda and I are parents just like you. And by the way, I forgot. For those of you who don't know me, I am one of the admins of this wonderful establishment. And I'm waiting on the other admin and co-host. Oh, there's your camera. Linda to come in. Hello. Leslie and Barbara, Angela, Monique, and Charles, Annette, and hey, Mark, Teresa, and Alex. Hey, Linda.
Hey.
Okay, so this is on the public page. So if you guys be so kind, those of you who can and don't mind, please share. I just shared it in the group, but if you can share in other places, that would be appreciated. Now, before we get started, oh, I'm sorry, Linda, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Oh, I'm Linda. I'm the other admin of Autism and Us. Hi, how is everybody today? Hi, Alex. Hey, Alex, glad you could make it. Hey, everybody. Hey, Teresa. Hey, Mark. Hey, Charles.
Anybody else?
Hey, Amy.
All right. Before we get started, Linda, I want to do an overview.
Okay.
Not going to really be a review, but it's an overview of a book that was sent to me complimentary copy to share with our members. So I want to give you guys that information. Are you doing a watch party or no?
Yeah, I'm starting one right now.
Okay, so this was sent from Lisa Wiley. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's probably backwards because of the camera. But it's called Today I'm Having a Blood Draw. Now, the book, the purpose of the book is to help our young ones or even the older ones who have problems with going to get shots at the doctor. So, what she did was step by step what usually happens as they go to the doctor. So, it's a perfect book to share with your loved one when it's time to get those shots to prepare them for what's going to happen. And you can use each step like um, letting them know, and then when you get to the doctor, and then when the shot's going to happen to make them feel a little more relaxed and, rid some of that anxiety about getting the shot. So I think it's a really great tool. And there you go again. And it's called Today I'm Having My Blood Draw. And this is from Lisa Wiley. And she's a phlebotomist. That's what she does. She draws blood. And she created this book because I'm sure she sees a lot of children come in that have, anxiety issues or they're scared of the needles. I know I am. I'm 51 and I'm still needles. So, yeah, I really think it's really easy to read. It's an easy read and step by step. So you guys can, if you are interested in the book and purchasing it for your loved one, you can find it on Amazon. And she did send me the link. I will post it in there. She also sent me, she let me know she will also give those of you who purchase the book a discount. So all you'd have to do if you want the discount is email her, and I'll put that in the chat also. Email her, tell her you heard about the book from us, and you'll get a discount. So I'm going to put that information while we get started. So while Linda, you can start us off, I'm going to type that in the chat room for the book.
Okay. Hey, Monica.
I got to find it first.
And Tasha. And Annette. Hey, Annette. Teresa Hamilton wants to know what ABA therapy is.
Applied behavior analysis. Oh, did you want to know the meaning or what it's all about?
So that's what, yeah, okay. So the acronym is, like she said, applied behavior analysis. So I don't know if you want to know what it stood for or what exactly it is. It can be home-based or center-based. It can be, I guess it could be ongoing or on and off throughout life, or when you need it, I guess, right? Whatever they're going through life, right? To learn life skills. It can start when they're young. So I guess so not everybody has to have it who has autism. Like Emily's had it periodically. So people who aren't familiar with us, Nita has a 13-year-old son on the spectrum, DeAndre, and I have a 14-year-old daughter, Emily, who's on the spectrum. Emily has gone several years without ABA. She's had it sometimes on and off, and DeAndre's gone without it before, and he's currently in it. He's been constantly in it, I think about a year now, right, Nita? Or coming up on a year?
Yeah, actually.
So
right at this
yeah, coming up. Yeah, I thought it was like last fall, like October or something. Yeah, so so it could be like we've implemented it when there were behavioral things, and then now we're implementing it. We'll be starting it back in end of November, And this time it'll be for going out and about in the community and learning things like purchasing things at the store and doing things, learning volume and things like that of voice and behavior in certain places, like say behavior that you have at the library versus behavior at the park, outdoor behavior, and in the store behavior. So there's it's things like that. So I guess it depends on where in life and their age that they are for what ABA is going to help them with. It can go into residential facilities as far as how they can be more independent. So I guess that's really what it is. It can teach them to be the most independent possible, no matter what age they are. Just called Grace Doctor on Friday that I was afforded of how she would act about the flu shot. I don't want her to be scared going back to the doctors. That's great. Oh, she's referring to your book. Leslie is referring to the book that you were talking about. And Monique wants to know if you can spell the name out.
Let me see. I got to add that again.
Okay.
Oh, there it is. It came up.
Oh, okay. And then so Teresa, I don't know if you have another specific question regarding that. And then Mark says, great book. My son doesn't like injections. I will look for that on Amazon. Thanks, Nita.
Don't forget, I put her email address in there as well. Email her. Let her know you've seen the book. It's I did an overview of the book, and you like the discount.
Oops.
I would suggest you use the email first. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Really easy to read. So I'm gonna go step by step. Few pages. Just takes you through the steps of getting the shot. So to help them with the anxiety. So it's pretty good. And it's not just for the little ones. It's most of our even our adult loved ones, have the anxiety with the needles. So it will work well for them too. So I put that information, I pinned it for those of you who are interested.
And Roberta, she wants to know, are there any other kinds of books like this?
I'm not sure, but I'm sure if you did a search on Amazon, this was the first. Like I said, it was sent to me, complimentary copy, so I can look at it and tell her what I think. So now I'm telling you guys. Yeah, but I'm sure it's something. But it's pretty neat to have. Where are we? What happened to you, Linda? Okay. Oh, don't start acting up tonight. There we go. Said, no, not tonight. Don't act up.
Sorry about that. Sorry. I got a phone call. Sorry, it kicked me
Oh, okay.
off. No, it was my end.
Okay, so we can get this started. So, she, ABA,
what?
Is that okay?
I'm sorry. Yeah, what was the answer to that from my party?
You froze. You froze on me.
I'm sorry. Are there other books like this?
Oh, I was saying I'm not sure. This was just sent to me as a complimentary copy. So she may have other, but check out her Amazon and email her. I left the email and the link in the chat area. Oh, there we go again. You done froze up. her again. Okay, I missed it. No, hey Angela, the calendar thing is still open. I have not closed it. It's still there and it's open. So if you're interested, just go over there and follow the instructions because I may close it tonight. I'm not sure. I'm waiting on Linda to come back. Looks like she's stuck on my screen. Let's see. Our viewers. Okay. Linda, if you can hear me, you're stuck. Hey, Monica, how are you? Hey, Tasha. Leslie, I just called Grace Doctor on Friday. I was afraid of how she would act about flu shot. I don't want her to be scared. Oh, yeah. Yeah, shots can be scary. Like I said, even with me, I'm scared of needles. It's like, no. Can you spell the author's name? Did I put it in here? Monique, look in. I pinned it, and it should be. I spelled it. Her name is Lisa Wiley, Lisa. Wiley is Wylie, and she has. And here's a picture of her. She's a phlebotomist, so that's what she does. That's what she does for a living is draw the blood. Okay, there's Linda again. Okay. Linda, you're stuck. Ah, there you go. Lost you again.
Yes, sorry about that. It was an emergency family phone call. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that.
Okay, let's see, where were we? Hey, Teresa. Great book. My son doesn't like injections. Okay, great. Amy. Hey, Amy. What a cool book. I wish I would have had. Well, yeah, Peyton has always hated anything medical. Me too. No. Thanks, guys. We'll be getting in touch, definitely. Okay, great. And remember, if you email her, she'll give you a discount. Let her know you heard about the book on Autism and Us.
And for Kat Lopez, Roberta, and anybody who's in my watch party, go ahead and inbox me, and I will get you that email and the link to do that.
Okay, Teresa says, do I need any kind of paperwork saying that my son has autism? Not necessarily saying autism, but any kind of, you know, issues they may have where they may need it. But it does help. So if your child has been diagnosed, they will want to see that paperwork. You do have to have something, and it depends on your insurance company also, because the insurance company wants to know that your child needs this service before they allow it. So yes, paperwork will help. So if your child's been diagnosed, or if this is a pre-diagnosis, they may qualify for it. Okay. You have anything over there?
Oh no, I was just catching up on the comments.
Oh, okay.
Hey Angela, I see Angela's here now. I see Amy. Hey Victoria. Hey Amy. And Charles.
Angela says, has anyone kid ever had surgery? If so, what did you tell them beforehand to prepare them for it, as well as during? I don't want Riddick to think he's being punished or mommy and daddy are being mean. I think if he didn't have autism, it would be a little easier to explain to him, at least in his situation. Anyone? Can anyone help her with that? Any suggestions? Surgeries? My son hasn't been through any surgeries, so I know there are books. Yeah, brushing teeth. And actually, we are using one now, Leslie, in his ABA. He has the teeth brushing and on the bathroom mirror, the steps also, the cards. So when he goes in to brush his teeth, he follows the steps. So real neat. Hey, Victoria.
Hey, Veronica.
Can I get Riddick and now are both Riddick and Winter on the spectrum? Yes, if they're both on the spectrum, I'm just saying this is only for our babies that are on the spectrum. So if they are on the spectrum, they can definitely go on the calendar. So this is it, and it's open. I have not closed it because I got sidetracked today. So you still have time to get in there. And I just want to remind everybody, follow the instructions. And your child, and this is for everybody, your child must be on the spectrum. Because this is an autism camera. Calendar. So they must be on the spectrum to get in. And I know you parents love to be in the pictures with your babies, but sorry, you are not allowed in the picture. You have to submit your child only or adult. Children and adults on the spectrum are welcome on the calendar. Still open is under the announcement section. Follow the instructions because I need that statement under those pictures.
And Angela said Winter is diagnosed now, her daughter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she just said that. So Riddick was diagnosed already, and now Winter is as well.
Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, I opened it back up, Charles. I actually did that a couple days ago. I only closed it so I could catch up. That's all. So it's open now. Get so many in, and then I'll close it again to catch up. But it's open. It's open right now. So if you want to add your picture, go right ahead.
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna ask if Charles did that.
Mm-hmm.
Alex may want to submit one.
Yep.
If he
Is
hasn't
on here?
already. Yeah, Alex is in here. I don't know if he's still in here. He was in here and his comment was not too long ago. He asked, are your kids afraid of fire sirens? Emily's not. I don't know. Is anybody else's
Afraid of what?
kid or fire truck sirens or police sirens?
DeAndre,
Yeah, because
I love
DeAndre
them.
has those cars, huh? Yeah, he has those cars that
DeAndre,
make those
and it
sounds.
could be loud too. He hears sirens, especially on his games. He has to turn the TV all the way up. And if we're out
Oh.
and a fire truck or ambulance pass, he will jump up. Ambulance, police car. Oh, he loves it. He loves it.
Yeah, Teresa says, yes, my son is afraid of any kind of loud noises, including fire sirens.
Oh, wow.
And then Mark says, yes, we have the ear defenders in his bag just in case, so it can soften the noise.
And you know, that's funny with DeAndre, because if I take him out, like if we're in a store or something, he wants
Mhm.
to cover up. So I don't know what that's all about.
Yeah,
Like I said, the
yeah,
noise in here, the noise he makes doesn't bother him. But when we're,
yeah.
it's like,
With Emily, I used to notice it was unexpected or unanticipated sounds. So if she was making sounds, it was okay. She used to be afraid of elephant sounds, the elephant whatever sound they make.
uh-huh.
So she had remembered that there was a sound, it was either an elephant or a dinosaur on the Disneyland train. So, but it came by like at 3/4 of the ride in. So she covered her ears the whole time until it happened. Then after that, she was okay. But so she knew that one, but she knew she was going to be afraid of that one.
So she's
But in the
prepared,
grocery
okay.
store, yeah, and then the grocery store and things like that, I think she doesn't know what sounds to expect. So she's a little bit nervous. And then so I'm wondering if it's the unexpected things that they're afraid of, that could be higher pitch. And then too, the acoustics in certain
Yeah,
places
yeah.
could be bad. And then so when he hears a siren, he probably knows that that's what it is, and
Mm-hmm.
he's reacting
He
because he's excited with
identifies
what
with
it
it.
is. Yeah, because he loves the cars and he
Mm-hmm.
knows those are gonna go flying by, and they're speeding and stuff, and he loves that. So, um, a cat says Alexis had her tonsils and adenoids removed. She also had 2 dental procedures, and I just told her that it was going to be okay, that the doctors were going to make her feel better, and that mommy was going to be there with her and held her hand until they took her back. And that's for you, Angela. And that was from Kat in the watch party.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Kenyana. Kenyana says hi, you guys. And yes, Alexis covers her ears and cries. She's very hypersensitive to sound, sight, touch, and textures. And that's also from Kat. And how I read that was with autism was that if you were to think of volume on TV, everything is turned up to the highest level with autism,
Yeah,
whether
they're
it's
real sensitive.
vision, hearing, yeah, everything's at the highest level of like either hearing it or seeing it, or everything's like to the highest sensitivity. That would explain the textures issues. Um, Kenyana says Daniel hates all loud sounds. He has noise reduction headphones.
Yeah, I was thinking about getting those too for DeAndre for when we go to the grocery store. But
Hmm.
he gets real clingy when it's time to do that. So I keep saying, I've been saying that for the last couple of weeks. I'm gonna go out and get, but I'm gonna go and get him some.
There's a video. Some of you guys probably seen it. It's a video of a boy with autism, and he's trying to explain what it's like through the eyes of somebody with autism. And he's walking through the mall with his mom or his dad, and it shows it's like through the eyes of autism or something like that. And he was just like how you're explaining DeAndre in the grocery store,
Mm-hmm.
but it was showing like all these things and the baby that went by crying and how he could hear it and how it was bothering all the sounds. So like how we could see everything, but the way the angle was as if you're looking like this, but you're hearing all these sounds and things coming at you. But it was a good video, as far as like getting an angle that would make you kind of feel like anxious.
Yeah, what they call it, like hypersensitivity.
Yeah. And a mall really has a lot of echoes.
Oh yeah.
Barbara says Phoenix holds his ears and cries to certain sounds.
Okay.
Emily used to cover her ears and make a sound to drown out the sound so she couldn't hear it. So she would make a sound with her voice so she couldn't hear it as she's plugging her ears.
Amy says this week has been a little rough for us. Colton had done so well that I was bringing him and his teacher's lunch, and when I got there, the principal met me at the door. She told me that they were suspending him. Colton got upset with his teacher and told her that he was going to bring a machine gun to school. Uh-oh. I assured them that he doesn't have access to any guns, but I understand why they had to suspend him. It was so hard, though. I know he didn't understand the severity of what he was saying. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they really getting sensitive with that. Just the mention of guns now. I'm sorry that happened to you guys. What steps are you taking to try to, I know he doesn't understand, but what are you doing to, I guess, try to make him understand a little bit? That's definitely a no-no. And I'm sorry that happened. Angela says she's definitely more high functioning than Riddick. Been a while since I've been on to talk. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's nice to have you back, Angela.
Grace, love. Oh, must mean sirens, right?
Yeah, it took me a minute to figure that one out.
Okay.
And Amy says Peyton used to be scared of birds, and so anything with bird noises would send him over the edge. That was like Emily with the elephants.
Wow. Wow. Veronica says, I went to pick the boys up from my mother-in-law's house, and their aunt, who is best with Eddie, looked like one of those trolls under the bridge in storybooks. I asked her what happened because she looked stressed out, and she said Eddie was a lot today. Oh, I've never heard her say anything like that about Eddie being too much for her. I felt so bad. She looked, oh, Eddie was on a mission today. He wasn't holding them up. You back in that? Welcome back. Mark says, we hate this time of year. Fireworks really hurts my son's ears. Oh, okay. You read that, right? Or was that another headphone?
No,
Oh,
no, I didn't
okay.
read this one.
I put his headphones on, connected to the TV. Okay.
That's what we do with Emily is we put on over the ear the Apple Beats. They're like over the ear ones,
Okay.
and then we turn her music on. So if we're in public and we want her to kind of hear what we're saying and hear some of the sounds, we turn the music on low. So if she wants to drown out some of the sounds, she can focus in on the music. And then if she doesn't, then she can still hear if she can, just strain a little bit and hear what we're saying. What time of year is it there in the UK that there's a lot of fireworks, Mark?
Yeah, I do remember him mentioning it was holiday time.
Oh, okay. That's what he said.
Mm-hmm. So they're
And
holiday.
then Kat says,
Huh?
okay, go ahead.
I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
You go ahead.
Oh, okay. Kat says, with Alexis, the sound is magnified by 100. For example, Alexis can hear a fly buzzing before she sees the fly, and she freaks out with any kind of bugs or insects. When we go to the store, if one of those fluorescent lights is flickering, she'll start crying and screaming to turn it off and change it because it's like a strobe light to her.
Wow.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Emily, one time over the summer, we had I got together with a friend of mine and her son, who's 4 years older than Emily, and we were taking them to the park, and there was a fly in the van. And him and Emily, oh my goodness, between him and Emily and that fly, I'm surprised we made it there safely. But neither one of them liked it. But I'm wondering too, is it because they hear it? You know how we hear a bee, but we know a bee is different because we know the bee is going to hurt us. But I wonder if it's the sound and the fly all together, like they're hearing it as well.
Because you really
And they might be
can't
hearing
hear
a
a
lot
fly
louder.
for us. You can't really hear it
Mm-hmm.
until it's right there. I guess for
Exactly.
them, it's just they.
They might be hearing it, yeah, the whole time. And then imagine when it does get close to them,
Oh,
then it's that much louder.
like no.
Yeah, because that's what Emily does. She's like, shoo fly. like she was about to jump out the van. But it was funny because he was looking at Emily like, but then when it got by him, he was scared too. He was yelling.
Oh, now I see what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, okay. And Mark says he's seen the video on YouTube that I was talking about.
Okay. About the boy.
Or seen it on Facebook. Oh, on Facebook, sorry. YouTube, Facebook. I've seen it on both. Because you know what you see on Facebook, you can go search out on YouTube and it's usually there as well. But I seen it posted up on Facebook. But it's the one with the little boy and it was through the eyes of autism or something like that. And he's showing what it's like to walk around with autism in the mall. What it would be like. She says when Winter is tired, a loud noise bothers her. She will start to cry and put her hands over her face.
She wants it quiet. Mm-hmm. Eddie only covers his ears when bad singers sing his favorite song.
He'd be one of the judges on one of the singing show on the
He like, oh,
like American
no,
Idol.
Mama. No, man. Charles says a boy was suspended for chewing his sandwich in the shape of a gun. For chewing his sandwich.
Like he like chewed around his sandwich where it ended up being the shape of a gun.
Really? Wow.
I guess so. Oh,
we have another picky eater question, Linda. This is your forte.
Okay. And that's Annette.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever heard, have you ever been here before? I want to say I've seen you before. I don't know if you've heard me talk about picky eaters versus problem eaters. The difference between a picky eater and a problem eater is a picky eater will eventually eat if you don't offer them something else and they get hungry enough. They will eventually eat to survive. They will eat whatever it is that they're having a problem with. They will eventually come around to eat that. A problem eater will not be able to do that because it's a texture issue or there's some reason why they cannot eat what they're not eating. And because it's a problem, they need to have some type of feeding therapy, whether it's through occupational therapy, ABA, or speech therapy. And you can find out from your pediatrician who can direct you through your medical insurance as far as where to get that service from. But so there's a big difference between problem eater, picky eater. Problem eater will starve if they don't have the food that they can tolerate. So you might want to look into that and talk to your pediatrician about that.
So that's real interesting because I was saying my son, now I really know that he's a picky eater because now he eats just about anything. Whereas before, the usual nuggets and fries and ravioli type stuff. But now I cook, he eats everything.
Oh, that's nice.
Except for he still won't touch rice. But everything else he'll eat.
Yeah, I kind of assumed Emily was like that because she will gag, she will throw up. I thought it was something more than just being picky.
Where Teresa says, where we go, my son has to have his headphones with us at all times because my son does not like any kind of noises at all, including kids or babies crying. He would put his hands, over his ears. So he really likes it quiet, very sensitive. And Monique says it's any loud noise with Justice. So Justice too. Wow. Yeah, I only get DeAndre is so loud. It's just incredible. You will see a change, an instant change. We leave out the house, he's like this. In the house, it's chaos. Oh, yeah, it's funny. It's funny, but it's not funny because you really don't know what's going on. But like, okay, like wasn't there a quote or something? Our kids can be the loudest things. How did that thing go? don't like noise, but they're the loudest thing, something like that.
It's basically true though.
Uh-huh.
Um, Amy says, I took him to the police station and had the police officer tell him that they could arrest him for making threats. I also explained that if he was arrested, I wouldn't be able to see him. He lost everything. He had to stay in the guest room so he couldn't play with any of his toys or any electronics all weekend. He also had to write the teacher a letter. I think he understands now.
Good, good. Yeah.
That's good, yeah. That's good because it's not the fact that he had the intention to do it or that he
Yeah.
could have even done it, but it's the fact that it could keep happening and that the school isn't going to have leniency of it, of what he's saying.
Right. And especially now, they're really
Hmm.
taking precautions.
Exactly, because that when they don't say anything and then it happens, it's like, why didn't you react? Why didn't you do anything about it?
Oh, you're okay, Leslie.
Um, Kenyana says that um, her son is failing math and reading, and she said Daniel's is failing both reading and math and all of his tests. How a child can fail kindergarten is beyond me.
Did didn't she wasn't he supposed to switch schools? Did he?
I think he did. I thought he did. Kenyana, did he switch schools already?
And are you working on getting him into a specialized? Because it sounds to me he's having such a hard time. He really needs to be in a specialized classroom setting.
A more specialized
Yeah,
plan, huh?
yeah,
Yeah. Did you get anything situated with that, Kenyana? As far as getting more, I'm sure he has an IEP, but getting a more specific program for him.
yeah. He would probably benefit more from
Hmm.
being in a smaller classroom and not just in
Hmm.
the general population in the kindergarten.
Yeah.
That would help him.
Uh, yeah. Frank says having issues with my 7-year-old stepdaughter throwing fits when she's put in timeout.
Yeah, I think that's most kids though. He get a
Hmm.
timeout. Or is he putting her in timeout for the meltdowns, or she's just having meltdowns?
No, when she's put in timeout, she's having a fit,
Oh,
and I think that's going to take consistency to not let her out. If you don't let her think that she's going to get out by throwing that fit, I think in time she'll burn out from
yeah.
throwing the fit
They
because it's
definitely
still
have
gonna.
to get used to it. Yeah.
They're just gonna. She's just gonna have to understand that throwing a fit isn't gonna get her out of timeout. It's not gonna prevent it or avoid it. It's like an avoidance behavior.
Hey, Aiden
Um,
from Ireland, how are ya?
Kenyana says Daniel will just starve, which makes him a problem eater. Kat says Alexis is a picky eater.
Yeah, eventually with the picky eaters, like I've noticed, they'll come out of it. Yeah, they definitely will come out of that. Is it snowing
Oh,
there, Mark? It says it's winter there now.
oh, is it?
Yeah, we're in our fall wet season now. I don't want to see any snow. I'm not rushing it. No. Leslie says
uh,
she is starting to close her door and turn off lights all the time now. She says no dark.
she's keeping the lights on.
Off. She's starting to
Oh.
close her door,
Hmm.
turn off all the lights now. She says no dark. She she me are you saying that she'd rather be in the dark?
That's what I'm wondering. Yeah.
Mhm.
Alex wants to know if any of our kids are afraid of dogs.
Of what? Dogs?
Dogs.
Oh.
Emily's not too afraid of them. She might get more afraid of the big ones, and then yeah, the bigger ones she will.
Yeah, DeAndre is not. My dad has a German Shepherd, so those are pretty big dogs. He's been pretty
Mhm.
good around her. The only thing is, it's Ari's dog. It's a Peckapoo.
Mhm.
He'll be actually his birthday is coming up here. He'll be 11, but about this big, and him and DeAndre, they don't get along that well.
Yeah, that's what I remember that.
But I mean, now it's a little better than like before. Yeah,
Mhm.
I don't know what it was. I guess because by Maxie being a little dog, it's like a little baby and wants attention, and everybody wants.
Mhm.
DeAndre, like, wait a minute, hold up.
Mhm.
You taking
And you
too
said
much.
it's 11 years old?
Yeah, Maxie'll be 11 November the 5th. Yeah, we got him
So they're
for Christmas when he was just a little puppy, 6 weeks old.
they're what, like he was 2 years old, huh?
Mhm. He was
Yeah,
still,
so yeah,
yep,
so that was when he was thinking, yeah, oh, there's competition.
right. Like, oh no, get out of the.
Mhm.
Sonia says Queen won't eat rice at all. Yeah, Sonia, my son, I don't know, for some reason he doesn't like rice too much. He'll spit it out or he'll look at it like, I'm not touching that. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the texture or what.
Um, Kenyana said he was supposed to, but they're keeping everything the same on his IEP.
So, are you saying that they want to keep him in a mainstream classroom even though he's having issues?
Yeah, I think it was a mainstream or it was one of the in, no, not inclusion. What was it called? What do you call those classes?
Mainstream, general.
Your granddaughter, your granddaughter was in one?
Oh, the mixture. I don't know, because half of
Uh-huh.
the students, I'm not sure
Yeah,
what they call it. Oh, it was one of those.
I don't know. Kenyana, what kind of class is he in? Is it mainstream, or was it a combination, or what was it? Um, Kat says that her son's having a hard time learning and understand the work and what he's being asked to do.
So what?
For her son, Kat is saying that too, that her son's having a hard time,
Oh, okay.
and the teachers aren't taking the time to work with him.
And it's IEPs, right?
Hmm.
So I'm just assuming there's no specialized classrooms in the schools for them. Is
I
it
don't know. Kenyana, is there not a program? I'm not going to even like limit it to his school, but his school district.
right? Even with the school district,
Hmm.
I would rather him, and I would probably argue about it. You have my
Hmm.
child in a classroom, and he's failing. He needs help. He
He
needs to
is.
be in a
Hmm.
smaller classroom setting, and where he can get specialized help, one on one, or yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. That just doesn't seem right.
Um, Barbara says we're working on a behavioral plan for Phoenix. School and I are waiting on district. And Kenyana says, oh, she would love the snow right now. And Alicia says my son won't eat any kind of noodles.
Really.
Kat's, yeah, and then Kat says it's a collaborative classroom. What we're thinking of, collaborative
Okay,
classrooms.
yeah, because that's what my granddaughter was in for her kindergarten year. But
Okay, yeah.
they still had the one-on-one they needed with the
Okay.
yeah.
So it was like everything they needed, but then it was in a class that would also have mainstream kids.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so, but it had all their resources that they needed. Kenyana says, yep, they want him to fail kindergarten first. He's in regular kindergarten.
And they want him.
I don't understand why they're wanting.
Officially?
Why? Why? So that he can think of school in the way that he doesn't, so he can get the complex that he can't do it. That doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, that doesn't even seem fair. That's not fair.
It doesn't. You never want to start off like that.
Yeah, I think I would make a argument about that, a fuss about that.
I would
Because
too.
they have kindergartens. My son is in a special kindergarten class. So
I mean, this is the foundation.
yes. Wow. Yeah, I think I would probably make a little noise.
Oh, Kat was referring to Kenyana's son.
Oh,
about those comments, yeah.
Victoria says I still haven't figured out if Declan is a problem or a picky eater. Okay. Yeah, it may take a minute for you. And Veronica says, I really wish Daniel could have a class. So, Veronica, Eddie's in a specialized kindergarten setting, right? Because I don't understand why they want him to fail. Why would the school system even allow that?
And Kenyana, okay, so he's diagnosed with autism. Is he diagnosed with a number? And if so, what was his number?
Sonia says, how do they make it all the way to fourth grade without diagnosis? Wow. Well, I've heard of some kids not being diagnosed until they were 16. I guess it would be the more high functioning.
That's what I'm thinking.
A lot less obvious signs of autism. Maybe that's one thing.
So Kenyana, if you didn't hear that, Veronica said that she wishes that Daniel could have a class like Eddie's. And Eddie's classroom is a specialized classroom for kindergarten. For most of the day and a few hours a day, they try to move him into a mainstream classroom so that he can slowly learn how to follow the rules in a normal classroom setting.
And that's exactly the way you're speaking of his classroom setting. I would think Kenyana, that's what he needs. I would definitely get with the district about that, because you don't want your baby to just, for them to purposely, and they know he has issues, just to purposely fail him, and they can get him help.
Yeah. Okay, so Kenyana says they keep saying he needs to be in the least restrictive environment. And that's true. That's always the truth. The least restrictive environment. But it has to if you put anybody in the least restrictive environment, it doesn't make a difference if you're not taking into regards whether they're successful or not. What difference does it make?
All right.
It's the least restrictive environment that they're successful in, though, because then it wouldn't even matter, right? But he should be successful in that.
I have that on my son's IEP. So, but
yeah, because it's federal. I don't. It's not federal. It's on the It's where you have rights. As when you have a disability, or like I forgot what they call it, but it's a right to be, and one of the rights is to be in the least restrictive environment regarding the disability that you're dealing with, and the least restrictive that they're succeeding at. If they're not succeeding, what's the point of it?
Right.
So if they're in a fully supervised environment where they're not allowed to go out, walk to the bathroom by themselves, that's good. Okay, it's at least restrictive. But then if they were in a less restrictive than that and they were able to walk to the bathroom, but they never made it to the bathroom, they wandered around campus all day, then it wouldn't be successful. So you would pull it back to them being walked to the bathroom. So it's the least restrictive, but the least restrictive that's successful. So he's not being successful in that one that they're considering least restrictive. So it still has, guidelines to it that they're not,
Leslie, I got you. Meaning she wants it dark.
Oh, okay, got it. So the excuse that they're using there isn't a reason.
Oh yeah, I would take that up with the.
And now, you know what she said? He's level 2 moderate autism.
Oh, so
how is he level 2 moderate autism and he's in a mainstream class?
Now,
that doesn't even make sense.
Level 1, I could.
Level 1,
but level 2.
Level 1 would make sense. How is he level 2 and he's in mainstream and he's having problems? I could see if he was level 2 and he was having no problems, then of course, yeah. Then you would fight and say, this is the least restrictive and this is where he belongs. Look, he's succeeding. But he's not, and he's level 2. Therefore, he should be in a different program.
He needs to be in an appropriate program to fit to. Yeah. Make some noise, Kenyana. Don't sit still and watch or allow them to fail your baby. Make some noise, because that's not right. It's not right at all.
And Kenyana, are you aware or familiar with any of the programs on his campus that are that would be available for him that would be appropriate for somebody with autism? Did you see those, or do you know that they're in your district at all? And then Kat says, yes, exactly. That's what he needs. It's already hard for our kids with autism, and they're just making it harder on him. Yes, they are. Yeah,
I agree.
Because, like, when I think back to Emily's kindergarten, they had the stations, for each little thing that they did. They had like the speech therapy that they would pull out to, or they would go back into the quiet room and they would do speech in there. They had a place for occupational therapy. They had each little station for each subject. They had like sensory areas. They turned the lights down for them. There was everything that they needed for kids on the spectrum. And all the way up in our district, all the way up through elementary, it wasn't mixed disabilities like Down syndrome and autism. It was autism program that she was in. There were other programs that other autistic kids were in, but this was her program. And there weren't, every kid in the class had autism, but it was put together for them.
That's what like right now, DeAndre,
the best learning environment.
DeAndre is in an ASD self-contained classroom. Everybody, 6 boys in that class, and each of them has autism specifically for them.
Because the environment, they all need the similar type of environment to be able to thrive and to learn. I mean, whether it's dimming the lights and, making it quieter in that classroom, or having it in a quieter place of the campus, and setting up the classroom for all their resources.
Did you say how many kids in that class?
Yeah, Kenyana, how many kids are in his class?
Because that could be a distraction in itself. And you guys have to excuse me, I'm eating my chips.
Somebody else said, Barbara says, Phoenix and Amethyst are in the 6 to 1 AB classroom. Which is good. That's 6 kids, right? 6 kids to 2 adults.
Yeah,
And then,
I guess that would be similar to what DeAndre. His is
yeah.
considered an ASD self-contained classroom. 6 boys.
Yeah.
And 2 paras and 1 teacher. Supposed to be 1 teacher.
That's how Emily's ratio. That's right. That's the same ratio as ours. Like it's always it's about 2 kids per adult. And when Emily was in that program too, she was almost always the only girl because, it was mostly ASD, so they were almost all boys. Kenyana says he was placed on a safety plan too because he escaped and went across the street by himself. I heard about this.
Yeah,
this was
I remember her mentioning.
But maybe 2 weeks ago or something like that.
There is no way they should have. That someone should have been watching that boy. Period. A 5-year-old.
Because he wanted to go get some water or something, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
There is no way he should have. Yeah, I would have made some noise about that. I would have been.
Yeah. A way to get them to move and do things is for her to fight for a one-on-one. And they don't like to give one-on-ones because it's expensive. They would probably put him in the right program then.
Meet his needs right away.
Exactly.
Kenyana, do you have any programs around you, like organizations that will advocate for you? For example, and I always mention them because I love my Autism Alliance of Michigan. But there are organizations, I know here in Michigan, like Autism Alliance of Michigan, if you call, you tell them your situation, they will advocate for you for free. I used them, I called them regarding the insurance company, and they were on it. So check if you don't feel you can speak up or, have that, I'm just going to agree. If you got that, okay, whatever y'all give me kind of attitude, I would suggest you contact one of the autism organizations and see if you can get someone to advocate for you. And even with his ABA, his therapy, they are going to the meetings with me. So anything they feel, they're actually the BT supervisor. That's her other thing that she does. So his next IEP meeting, she'll be there, the supervisor. So make sure, check around. There are people who do this.
Yes.
They are people who do this. They will strong arm them if they have to.
Yes. And Kenyana says, well, Kat has a question. She wants to know what he's coded as with the school. Kenyana says he's sorry. He's all they have at his school is EBD classes. They pull him out 12 hours per week and put him in the special ed resource room.
All they have is what?
She says EBD classes.
Okay.
And then she says they pull him out 12 hours per week and put him into the special ed resource room.
So they don't have any classrooms just for besides the EDD, but he only gets 12.
Yeah, the EBD. Yeah.
He only gets 12.
Yeah.
A week.
Yeah, and so where does he receive anything that he may need, like speech, OT, behavioral? Where does he receive any of those things for his autism?
So I'm wondering.
And then she says, yeah, that's what I want to know. And then Kenyana says, we have lawyers, but they cost $1,000. And then Barbara says, Phoenix and Amethyst are the only kids with autism in that program.
Veronica says, I had a meeting with Eddie's IEP team, and he got into a school that caters to his needs. Okay, very good. That was good. Victoria says he will absolutely not eat. Oh, if it's not something he wants, but he has started eating more variety of things. Okay, that's good. That's good. Leslie
Oh,
says, I have learning disabled classes my whole life. As I got older is when I went got to mainstream. Okay, in some classes. Okay. Now see, like
oh,
my
I
my
think,
my older daughter, she did the opposite. She had ADD. So what they would do, she would mainstream, but a couple I think it was like she got a two days out of the week where she would go to the resource room for a couple of hours. Just they would have to help her with her work. She was allowed longer length of time to do certain things, but then she would go to the resource room and take her work, and they would help her in there. Oh, what were you saying? I'm sorry. Did I cut you off? What were you saying?
oh no, no. So Kat wanted to know if what Daniel was coded as.
Mhm.
Um, Kenyana said he's coded as, I believe that's where she answers 23, but I'm not sure. Oh, no, no. I don't know what she says 23 for. I thought it was a code number. Significant development delay. But so it says, Kat says, see, that's why, because they don't have him coded as AU. Alexis coded as ED, which is emotional disturbed and not autism. And I keep arguing and fight with the school's diagnos diagnostician that they need to recode Alexis to AU because of her being coded ED. She doesn't qualify for speech, PT, OT
What
on
about the
campus.
doctor?
So that's what I'm wondering. So we're supposed to get Alexis reevaluated in December because she goes to all the therapies off campus 2 times a week, and she's in the BIC program, which there's only 6 students in the class. One first grader, 3 second graders, 2 third graders, with one teacher and one para. And then Kenyana says he gets 1 hour of speech and OT. And then Kenyana says he has ADHD as well.
Wow.
And then Alexis says, oh, this could be the problem too. Because then Alexis says, Kat says that Alexis has ADHD too, several other disabilities and disorders too. So they might be, when they code them, either they're coding, like they're picking and choose what code, that one code they might want to put in, or the one code they might put many codes, and one code might be being the priority code. But yeah, you guys, it's important to make sure that if autism is the most significant one, that's the one that needs to be there.
Now with DeAndre, um, we have the two boxes checked. He has autism as his primary. He has
Hmm.
ADHD also on his IEP.
Yeah, because autism is going to have more things that it's going to call for as far as learning and accommodations.
Hey, Dinah.
Yeah.
Dinah says that is what happened with Adam. He is having elopement issues. Left school 3 times already. Wow. And that's referring, was that referring, did I miss something? Oh, yeah.
Probably referring to
Daniel.
when Daniel left.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm. Right, Veronica. 12 hours a week is not enough. The way it's sounding, yeah, I would definitely make some noise.
And he gets 1 hour of speech and she says 1 hour of speech and OT. So I don't know if that's 30 minutes each and if that's per week.
I don't, yeah. They probably spread that out if they do it weekly. 15 minutes here,
because yeah,
15 minutes there.
that's what I was gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know you can get a few minutes here and there. They literally will break it down to like 8 minutes of speech. You know, they really will break it down to minutes, like few minutes, whatever the fraction is.
Mark says, wish I could help with the school. Living in the UK, we have the same problems. My son is in mainstream school. We have all the things in place, but the school isn't for him. They try, but unfortunately, we got our diagnosis too late, so we can't change. Really? You would think you, with the diagnosis, you should be able to switch. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I guess every place has their issues with something.
Mm-hmm.
So sorry to hear that. Hey, Declan. Mm. Okay, I put the link in there for our YouTube channel because once we get so many members shooting for 100, we're gonna start doing lives over there as well as here, just to open up the options. So for YouTubers, we'll be over there one day, and over here we're using all our options to get our name out there. So if you have a YouTube channel, feel free to share it with me. Sub for a sub. And if you just a YouTube person who likes YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the channel because we will set up something to do lives over there once we get enough people. Once we get enough people over there. Anything else, Linda? I don't see it.
Nope.
Anyone else?
No, it was 1 hour a whole week for the two.
1 hour a whole week. 1 hour, yeah.
So what is that, 30 minutes per thing and per week?
Yeah, Kenyana, yeah, definitely. Yeah, get that baby in the right classroom setting. Get that baby, or find someone who can strong arm them. They got to do better.
Kat says, I think it was Mark mentioned that his son is having the same issue with his son's skull coating. He can request an ARD meeting and ask them to reevaluate his son. The one thing about Mark, though, is that he lives in the UK, if you're talking about Mark, who's in here right now. Kat. Yep, a YouTube channel. Kenyana says, oh, cool, a YouTube channel. Dinah says, yep, I got an IEP advocate to help me. Sometimes that's what needs to get done. Yeah. Yeah, I think that was Mark she was talking about. Okay, so I will try to get a random live in this week. I can't guarantee it. I've been really swamped with work and lots of things going on. I'm going to Japan. I'll be flying to Japan next Sunday, so I won't be on here live. Hopefully somebody else will volunteer to be live with Nita. If not, it'll be Nita on live by herself. So So hopefully we get somebody to volunteer, and that's actually the day I'll be flying. So uh, on the other 2 Sundays when I'm actually in Japan, I will actually most likely be live like I was last time. The funny thing is when I'm there, I'll probably be less busy than when I am here. So because you're limited, you can't do everything when you're away from home. So there's some stuff that I won't be able to, or I won't have to take care of. So I won't be here next week. Hopefully, I'll get a random live in before I leave next Sunday. And I'm thinking it'll be Tuesday or it won't be Thursday. Hopefully, it'll be Tuesday, unless it's early Thursday. Hopefully, it'll be Tuesday evening or Wednesday evening. And you too, Leslie.
Yeah, have a good one, everybody.
Yep.
Good
And
night.
we will,
And please
everyone have
don't
a good
forget to
week.
join that YouTube. There's some information about that under the announcement section. So make sure you go there and don't forget about the book. To get your
Yep.
discount from Lisa Wiley, you can email her. I left the email address in the pinned comment and just tell her you heard about it from Autism and Us, and you'll get a discount on the book if you're interested in purchasing it.
And anybody in the watch party, if you want the link, go ahead and message me and I will get it to you, the link and the email. And thanks, Jessica and Kenyana. And everybody have a good night. Thanks, Charles. I
Thank you
hope to.
guys.
And yes, everything's okay in Japan. Just this was a planned trip. So it's just finally here now. So, okay. So you guys all have a good night and I will see you guys later on this week. Talk to you guys later.
Thank
Bye.
you guys.